Hey, hi, welcome back. What we're going to look at now is carrying out a dash roll or a dash relocation. So in the context we're going to do this is somewhere in the UK, if you're watching from overseas, we call it creating an emergency plan. So by this, what we mean is we turn up at the incident, we've done a 360, stabilised, etc. Casualty's got a lower limb entrapment, so they're physically trapped by the dash. However, they're not time critical. Paramedics have decided, or the medical teams have decided, they want a complete roof removal or some form of roof evolution to get them out. However, until we free the entrapment, they are still trapped. So by what we mean is from an emergency plan is freeing the entrapment as our priority, so that should any time during the main plan, roof evolution, whatever, we need to get them out because they've deteriorated, we can get them out at any time. So that's all we're going to achieve here. So quite often if we're doing a dash relocation, it's because the dash is pinning the lower limbs. If we were to remove the roof or cut these pillars first, potentially we're taking out any structural integrity of the vehicle, and it could cause the dash to further entrap and aggravate the casualty's injuries. So what we do is we put our relief cut in the base of the A pillar, we'll tension and ram up to take the load of the dash. And in this situation, to avoid, and I've done a similar thing in the past, to avoid having to manage any laminated glass and the issues that we have around glass contaminants, etc. What we're going to do is we're going to put in a relief cut up here, then we're going to go across with our metal shear. Reciprocating saw is also very good for this, as you've seen on previous videos. We're going to go straight across the header rail here, same again on the other side. That therefore, when we roll the dash, this whole section will then roll forward. We can then free the entrapment, get the casualty a little bit more comfortable. Whilst that's then going on, we can then start moving towards a roof removal or whatever we're going to do with the roof evolution if we choose to do the roof. But should we need to get them out, any time we can do because we've now freed the entrapment. What we'll do, we're just going to ram this one side first, just to show you what space we can achieve. Then we're going to go around the other side, mirror this side there so we can show you the benefits of also using two rams to do a symmetrical lift. See what we get with that. Again, we haven't prepped anything here, so what will be will be. All we have done, as you can probably already see, the doors have already come off that we've removed earlier. We've got rid of the doors the other side, and we've removed some plastic trim. SLS protections on. On this specific vehicle, we're not going to use any stability underneath here. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute, but a good friend and a colleague, heavily promoting developments in the vehicle rescue world in Dunbar. He once did a paper, I think it was something on his blog, about the integrity of the sill and the B pillars now that actually we can roll the dash without having to pack under there and that hold it in situ. However, you've got to do an assessment of the vehicle. If this is rotted out, it's rusting or it has been damaged, we will need to put some blocks under it. So what we don't want to do, come to roll the dash, if that's loose, if that is stronger than this will start blowing down into the ground, then we're going to need to get some blocks of stability in place, therefore adding to the rescue time. So factor that into your plan, don't leave it too late, don't take the easy option. We're going to try it today without any stabilisation underneath here, see if there is enough strength in here. The key thing to that is our relief cuts through the base of the A need to be as far through as we can. Today we're going to use hydraulics. You can also use, depending on where the casualty's limbs are, reciprocating saw is also very good to get a nice deep horizontal cut all the way through there. Okay, so let's crack on with it then. So we've already peeled and revealed this, we're happy there's nothing there. see there, we've got quite a nice deep horizontal cut using the incline cutters there. What we're going to now do is we're going to put a ram in, just to tension the ram up, to hold the weight of the dash. Once we've done that, we'll continue with our cut here. Okay, you can see there we've now got tension on the ram. You need to be mindful of your sill support leg, because you can see it start to bend in, so we obviously need to make sure that stays square on. Ideally aim for a strong point on the A-pillar. If we ram too high here, we risk the A-pillar creasing over. So we've got quite a good strong area there. Be mindful of the orientation of your handle. Okay, so one outside, so I can still get hands on the casualty or anyone if I need to. I can still access there. I've got this sticking up out of the way. If I need to, I can now disconnect the toes, connect up the hydraulics so I can do my cuts. Okay, so that's what we do now. Good bit of kit, the old incline cutters there, they're economically quite nice to use. Okay, so that's done on that machine. Okay, so at this point here, we've connected up, reconnected up the ram. Be mindful again, we're not holding the operating handle when we're connecting the ram, because what we don't want to do is accidentally operate the ram there, causing the dash to drop. Again, like I say, if you haven't got a metal shear, reciprocate sort of the short blade is quite good for this technique as well. We now haven't had to do any glass management. Okay. Casualty protection, sharps protection used as you need. Following your assessment. When we get to this stage now, okay, we're happy with the ram. But when we're talking about stabilisation earlier, quite often we've always defaulted to just packing directly underneath the B-pillar. Okay? But what we need to look at is the angle that you place the ram against your ram support and where that downward force is going. So if we look in this occasion, the downward force is about here, so my blocks and wedges would want to be here. So that will actually slightly just following this point here. So as that force goes down, the blocks are stopping this area from going down. Okay? If, for example, I have my sill support on the front one here, my angle will probably be something like this. So you can see there, the force from the ram will be going down this area here, so that's why I want my blocks. Because if I pack over here, all it will do is cause this area to bow down into a V. So normally, as a rule of thumb, what I tend to do is position my ram, tension it up, make sure I'm happy with my ram angle and that it's ready to go. I will then have some blocks stood by here. I will then put my blocks under, taking into account whichever angle my ram ends up in. So my blocks are in the right place straight away. Okay, just something to bear in mind, a little helpful technique you might find. So let's roll the dash in. I'm just going to roll from this side. We'll see if we can achieve a few inches. Obviously in most training situations, we know on stations and that, we try and ram as far as we can. In a rescue situation, normally it's only a few inches we need just to manipulate the lower limbs free, create enough space to take the load off them. We'll ram this side, see how much space we get, and what we'll do, I'll then do a relief cut on the other side, put a second ram in there, and then we'll ram the other side as well, just so you can see the benefits that come with both. Be mindful, some vehicles now we have dash tie downs or dash cross, a T-bar attached to the dash cross member. In some cases we'll go from the middle there, down through the centre, behind the radio unit and etc. And that will hold the dash attached to the floor or the structure of the base. In front of your gear stick. Be mindful of that, because obviously if we're trying to roll the dash or push the dash that way, back reinforcements or the dash reinforcements there will be hold it back, so it'll be working against you. So you might need to identify that. It might be a simple case of just unbolting the little bars or cutting the bar that's preventing that from happening. Normally though, we only need a few inches. So personally, I've never really had any issues with it. I'm sure some of you have. If you have, let us know. Let's share some knowledge. Brilliant. Right, let's see how we get on then. Again, key thing is make sure you're happy with the orientation of the operating handle. So what we don't want is to lower the ram accidentally now. We need to keep lifting. Remember, have some blocks and wedges or some small wedges to hand, so that as we lift, we close this gap with some wedges. I haven't got any wedges with me at the moment, okay, but all we do is we pack that gap so that should the ram slip off or something fail, they're sort of a token thing just to stop the dash dropping. Again, you could question, do we need them? I've taken the ram out many a time and the dash hasn't really moved anywhere. Half the time we're sticking them in there and they're not really that effective anyway. Maybe something to look at in training, develop, look at alternative methods, or actually rethink, are we doing stuff just for the sake of it, because that's what we did 30 years ago. Who knows? Everything's set up, I'm happy with what we're looking at, so let's see if we can do a bit of a dash roll. Orientation of the handle, we're happy with that. Communicate that to everyone. Let's have a nice little steady lift. Worth bearing in mind, just to highlight to this, when we are doing it, don't get tunnel vision, okay? What we need to be doing is keeping an eye on the ram head, make sure it doesn't fly off or we start losing integral strength here. Also keeping an eye on the bottom of the ram and our ram support to make sure that we don't get any sideways movements. What we don't want is over-end catastrophically failing. So good positioning, good body orientation, good visuals on the whole thing. Okay, here we go. Okay, we'll stop there for the minute, because like I say, massive amount of space created now. We don't need to overextend the ram. However, we can see we've got plenty of extension left in the ram, so we've got a bit of redundancy there. Obviously, clear sheet over your casualty and medics, sharps protection as and when needed, because you've still got bits of debris coming off from the roof line and etc. Again, if you have got the luck of people there and you've got room to do so, you can easily get in there and just go along the internal roof liner with a Stanley knife or a sharp blade, and that will cut along there quite nicely. So again, we don't have all this peeling and breaking off the structure like it has done there. But it's good to see this, because we're seeing what is actually happening. So if I'd have just zipped in there, got a blade, run along it, that would have come off quite nicely, even cleaner than we have done here. We don't always want to see everything nice and clear and ideal, do we? Because otherwise it will give us a false sense of security. So when we're working operationally, we'll assume things work nicely, when actually we've got to be thinking ahead all the time. So yeah, I'm well happy with that. Some good space created. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to zip around the other side, put a relief cut in the base of the A-pillar ram there. I'll put my other ram in, and we'll roll from there. But you can see by just doing one side for an emergency plan, casualty is now free. I can either leave that in situ or remove it. This is where we'd block in here, put some blocks in there maybe. Readjust the stabilisation down here, because you can now see that's doing nothing. There we go. Evidence is there. effective relief cut under the A. Bearing in mind this is quite an old car, so newer vehicles are a lot stronger. But the sill, no issues with that at all. Potentially, you could ram directly off of that without a sill support, but then you run the risk of this small surface area puncturing through the metalwork. But on newer vehicles with strong metal, that will also work. Try it in training, let us know what you think. Okay, we'll zoom around the other side then, and we'll have a look what happens there. So what we'll do, this side we won't use a sill support, we'll see what happens without one. Still recording. So what we do, we'll just do our relief cut in the base now. Just remember that if you are going to do both sides simultaneously, what we'll do is we'll do our relief cut first, tension and ram up like we did the other side, and then we will cut through cantrails both sides and go across the roof line. Okay, so remember, if we haven't got a ram in here, we're not supporting that load. But because for this video we've already done that to demonstrate our emergency plan by just ramming on one side, obviously we've already cut it. So what I'm going to do is we'll do the relief cut first, then we'll put a ram in just to ram from both sides. Okay, so quite a bit of movement there, tool encroaching into the vehicle. Sometimes you're going to get that, so you've got to think about repositioning the tool, coming from a different angle, flip the tool over, coming from different sides, use a reciprocating saw for example. If there's no casualties at all, like for example on this occasion, this is a driver, not so much of a problem, but it's something you need to think about. Okay? Incline cut is excellent, but it doesn't mean they won't encroach inside the vehicle either. So we've done that cut there now, what we'll do is connect up the hydraulics. The ram. Okay, base is on there quite nicely, good purchase point there, nice relief cut. We've already rammed the other side. Hopefully that ram won't fall out. Normally operating, you'd have someone on that ram as well. See how it goes. A little bit of extra space here. Okay, excellent. So there we go. Then we've packed this gap here. Good simultaneous activity if you're doing it at the same time. So both rolling the dash, nice and controlled, at the same speed. One thing you need to bear in mind is here we've got a newer version of a ram, slightly older one. Just need to make sure that whatever you're using there, the rams are roughly at the same capacity. What you don't want to do is max out one ram and then this one has a good length in it to match that. Might not be too much of an issue, but something to bear in mind, limitations of your tools. You can see here how much space is created, how much you've rolled that dash off. All we've been left now to do, once we free the limbs, cut these gaps. The limbs are free, put the dash back down, get rid of this hazard. We don't need to leave it up if we don't have to, because it's just more tools in the way, more trip hazards. All the shops covered up. If we're not already doing that, hopefully some other crew members will be carrying on simultaneous activity, getting on with your next bit of space creation or doing it at the same time. Okay, cool. So what we do now, we'll just lower these rams down just so we can see how much the dash does drop down. I've got no packing in place, so we'll just give you that visual as to actually will it drop down that much if we did nothing. So I'll just lower this one, lower the other one, and then that's what happens. Quite a little bit of movement there, wasn't there? We're going to have lowered it pretty quickly. Okay, so last one then, we'll just see how much movement we do get. Do a little bit more control this time. Okay, fantastic. So there you go, look. We've removed both rams. Obviously it's going to rock a bit because we haven't done anything with our stabilisation, but you can see it hasn't come down that much. Still got massive amounts of space. We can do bits and pieces with the casualty should we need to. The fact that this hasn't dropped down this much this time, it doesn't mean it won't drop down quite a lot the next time. Remember, every situation is different. Don't get complacent. Pack the gaps, put in your controls to make sure it doesn't drop back down. Okay? There you go, it's an example. So hopefully you found that useful. Please send in any comments or feedbacks. Simple dash relocation. Thanks so much for watching.